You know, from the absolute coldest poles to the hottest deserts, our planet is, well, it's a place of extremes. But here's the amazing thing. Life always seems to find a way. So today, we're going to crack open the ultimate survival guide. We're going to look at the incredible playbook that lets living things do more than just survive. They actually thrive in the toughest places imaginable.
Okay, so picture a penguin in your head. Chances are you're thinking of this guy on the left, right? The classic emperor penguin, king of the Antarctic ice. But now, get a load of its cousin on the right, the African penguin, just chilling on the warm coasts of South Africa. I mean, they're family, but their homes could not be more different.
So, how is that even possible? How can one single family of animals conquer both the freezing cold and the blistering heat? It's a fantastic question. And the answer? Well, it unlocks a secret that's true for pretty much every living thing on this planet. All right, to figure this puzzle out, we gotta look at the special gear each of these penguins is working with. So let's kick things off with this tale of two penguins. So here's their survival kit, laid out side by side. The emperor penguin, it's got this super thick layer of blubber and incredibly dense feathers. It's basically nature's most high-tech winter coat, right? It just traps all that body heat in. But the African penguin, it's got a completely different trick up its sleeve for dealing with the heat. See those little patches of bare skin around its eyes? Blood flows really close to the surface there, and it works just like a car's radiator, releasing heat and cooling the whole body down. Pretty clever. So what we're seeing here with these penguins, it's not just some lucky coincidence. Nope, this is a fundamental rule in the playbook of life. Now, scientists have a name for this, of course. They call it structural adaptation. But really, it's just a fancy way of saying that living things develop specific physical features, body parts, that give them a huge advantage in their environment. It really is all about having the right tools for the job. And this is not just a penguin thing. Not at all. This principle is absolutely everywhere you look. Take the Arctic fox. That thick white fur, it's a heater and an invisibility cloak all in one. Or head to the rainforest. See the poison dart frog? Its bright colors are basically a giant neon sign screaming, "Do not eat me, I am poisonous." And then in the desert, a lizard's sandy scales make it practically disappear. Every single one has a physical feature that is perfectly tuned to its own little world. So let's dig into some of these absolute masters of survival. Think of these as, case files, maybe? We're going to look at some extreme challenges and the totally brilliant solutions life has come up with. Okay, first up, the cold, the ultimate challenge when it comes to just staying warm. And here is our champion of the cold, the Arctic fox. I mean, this creature lives in a world that is just white. Everything is white. And staying warm and staying hidden, that is the name of the game. So every animal has its own special toolkit for this. We already saw how the penguin uses blubber and dense feathers. But the fox takes it to another level with that amazing fur coat. It's not just top-tier insulation. It literally turns the fox into a ghost in the snow. It's invisible to the things it's hunting and the things that might be hunting it. All right, let's flip the script. We're going to crank the thermostat all the way up and head to the total opposite extreme, the challenge of crazy heat and, of course, not nearly enough water. And here is our master of the heat, a desert lizard. But wait, can you even see it? Seriously, take a look. It's blended in so perfectly with its surroundings, which is an absolutely vital skill when you're trying to hide from the sun and from things that want to eat you. So the toolkit for hot climates really boils down to two things: staying cool and staying hidden. You've got the penguin's built-in radiators, you've got the lizard's sandy-colored camouflage. It all points to a pretty universal rule in the wild, right? If you can blend in, you have a much better chance of not ending up as somebody's lunch. But it's not just animals. Plants have their own, frankly, incredible playbook for surviving the desert. They pull off these amazing feats of endurance every single day. And their strategies are just ingenious. I mean, some plants, like grasses, they'll spread their roots out wide and shallow, right under the surface, so they can slurp up any little bit of rain or even morning dew. But then others, like the acacia tree, do the exact opposite. They send one huge long root deep down to find water that's hidden way underground. And of course, you've got cacti, with their thick stems that store water like a living canteen, all protected by those sharp thorns to keep thirsty critters away. Okay, so these individual adaptations are incredible for sure, but they're all just responses to a bigger set of hidden rules, rules that govern every single environment on this planet. So, any environment, what scientists call an ecosystem, is basically made of two halves. First, you've got the biotic factors. That's all the living stuff humans, animals, plants, you name it. Then you have the abiotic factors. That's all the non living stuff sunlight, air, water, soil, temperature. And adaptations, they're the bridge that connects these two halves. Here's a perfect example of how that works. The abiotic factor, the non living part, is the lack of water in the desert. The biotic response from the living plants is to evolve all these different kinds of root systems. That's the structural adaptation, and it's a direct solution to the problem. It's amazing when you think about it. The non living world literally shapes the bodies of the living world. And here's another one for you light. That's an abiotic factor, right? Well, for a ton of plants, how much light they get each day is the trigger. It's the signal that tells them, okay, it's time to make flowers or time to grow fruit. The plant's internal clock is literally synced up with the non-living patterns of the world around it. So this all leads to a really important question. How does this winning formula get passed along? I mean, how do these brilliant solutions actually stick around for the long haul?
Well, the answer is actually pretty simple. It's all about heredity. These successful traits, they aren't just lucky one-time things. Nope, they're written into an organism's DNA, and they get passed down from parents to their kids, generation after generation. That thick fur, those deep roots, the built-in radiators, it's all part of a blueprint for survival. A blueprint that gets tweaked and perfected over thousands, even millions of years, making sure that the next generation is born with the tools it needs to win. So, when you really look at it, from the penguin's winter coat to the cactus's sharp thorns, this whole idea of structural adaptation, it's like life's masterclass in how to solve problems. It's this nonstop process of innovation, always driven by the challenges of the environment. And that kind of leaves us with one last big thought, doesn't it? As our world keeps changing, what incredible new adaptations are evolving right now, under our very noses, getting ready to solve the problems of tomorrow?